for today's top, I'm going to be using a super fine weight yarn and a 3.25 millimeter hook. The yarn that I'm using is 100% acrylic. It's called Minium from Hobby, and I'm going to be using a lot of colors to make it rainbow. You can use any yarn and hook that you want for this pattern. So it's made to measure, which is really exciting. So to start off, you're going to want to make a magic circle. Basically, you'll wrap the yarn over your fingers like I did here, and then you'll do a chain, and then start with a chain 4. This chain 4 counts as your first double crochet and a chain 1. So once you have that, you're going to double crochet 3 times into the magic ring. To make a double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. After you have your 3 double crochets, you're going to chain 2 and then make 3 more double crochets into the magic ring. After you have your 3 double crochets, you're going to chain 1 and then do 1 more double crochet into the ring. Then you can fasten off your yarn and pull the ring closed, and then you can cut your yarn because we're going to start with a new color for the next row. So your first row should look like this. You should have a few spaces of chain, and it should look kind of like a triangle. Now I'm going to grab my next color, and then I'll show you how to connect it. So when you have your next color, you're going to want to make a slip knot onto your hook, and then we'll connect our yarn into the third chain of our beginning chain 4 from the previous round. So just insert your hook and then pull through the color and then pull through the loop on your hook to join your new yarn. And then this next row is going to be pretty much a repeat for the majority of our top. You're going to start again with a chain 4, and this counts again as a double crochet and a chain 1. And then in this first chain space, you're going to make 3 double crochets. And then you're going to move on to the next chain space, and then you're going to make 3 more double crochets into the chain space. So we're working in the spaces. Now since this is the top of our triangle, we're going to chain 2 and make 3 more double crochets into the same space, and this forms the top of our triangle. Now we're going to skip the stitches and then work into the last chain space, and we're going to make 3 double crochets into this space too. After that, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to end with a double crochet into that last double crochet stitch. So now you're going to work into this stitch and make a double crochet. And that is the end of our second row. So now you can tie off your yarn, cut it, and you should have something that looks like this, like your triangles coming together. Now I'm going to start with a new color, and basically we're going to be doing the same thing each row, just with a new color. So start again with a slip knot on your hook, and then you're going to join your yarn into the third chain of that beginning chain 4 that we did in the previous row. So just insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then pull through the loop on your hook, and that will join your yarn. And then start again with a chain 4 that counts as a double crochet and a chain space. And then in that first chain space, you're going to do 3 double crochets. And then we're going to skip the stitches, and in the next chain space we're going to do 3 more double crochets. And then our next space is the top of the triangle, so we're going to do 3 double crochets. And then we're going to chain 2 and do 3 more double crochets in that same space, and that will form the top of our triangle. And then we're going to continue down the other side, working in the spaces, making 3 double crochets in each space. So there's one, and then there's one last space at the end. And then we're going to end the row with a chain 1 and then double crochet into the top of the last double crochet, just like we did before. And that's the end of the row. So now you can fasten off your yarn and cut the yarn. So now you have 3 rows done. It should look something like this. So basically we just do the same pattern for each row, working in the chain spaces, and then in that top space we're going to work into that space twice to form the top of the triangle. So I'll show you how to do the next row. You can follow along. So again, this is going to be the same pattern for each row. Start with a slip knot on your hook, and then connect your yarn to the third chain of that beginning chain 4 from the previous row. And then once you connect, then start again with a chain 4, which counts as a double crochet and a chain 1. And then you're going to work into that immediate chain space, making 3 double crochets. And then work up the side of your triangle. In each chain space you're going to make 3 double crochets. Once you get to the top of your triangle, you're going to make 3 double crochets, and then you're going to chain 2 and make 3 more double crochets all in that same space. This forms the top of your triangle, and then you're going to work down the other side of the triangle doing the same thing, just making 3 double crochets in each chain space. Once you get to the end, after you made your last 3 double crochets, then you're going to chain 1 and then make a double crochet into the top of the last double crochet. And then that's going to be the end of your row. So then you can fasten off your yarn and cut it again. I changed colors each row. So this is what it should look like. You're going to repeat this pattern. If you need to rewind the video, go ahead and make it until your top gets to be as wide as you need. This is how many rows I did just to get it basically where you could wrap it around your back, and then we're going to add a few more rows to end it. But make sure that you get to the size that you want first, and then we can continue from there. So we're going to add 3 more rows just to finish off our top. So we're going to start this next row pretty much the same as we had done before with a slip knot, and then we're going to connect our yarn into the 3rd chain from the chain 4 of the previous row. Then you're going to chain 4. We're going to skip the first space, so this is a little different. We're going to make 3 double crochets into the next chain space. So we're going to kind of square off our back of our triangle for the straps on the back, but the rest of this is going to be similar to the previous rows, where you're just going to make 3 double crochets into each chain space up until we get towards the top. So work along the side until you have a couple spaces left, and then I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so you should have 2 spaces left, 1 chain space, and then your chain 2 space, which is the top. So in this second to last space right here, you're going to make 3 double crochets, and then you're going to chain 2 and make 3 more double crochets in that same space. So we're going to try and square off the top where our neck is. And now we're going to work into the chain 2 space at the top of our triangle. We're going to make 2 single crochets in that same space. So 1, 2, And now we're going to square off the other side. So working in that next chain space, you're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets all in the same space. So now you can see our neck is starting to square off, which is just how we want it. We're going to continue going down the rest of this side just by making 3 double crochets into each chain space, just like we had done in the previous rounds. Now we're getting towards the end of this row. We're going to kind of do the opposite like we did when we started this row on this side. So when you get to have 2 chain spaces left, make 3 double crochets in that second to last space. We're going to skip the last space and we're just going to make a chain 4. And then we're going to connect our yarn to the top of that double crochet. So make a slip knot or a slip stitch, into the top of this last double crochet to connect it. And then that will be the end of our row. So then you can fasten off your yarn and cut your yarn. So now we have started to square off. We're going to have 2 more rows until we finish our top, and then we'll add the straps. So now we're starting the next row with a new color. So connect your yarn into this chain space right here. And then you're going to chain 4, and then all in this space, you're going to make 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then 3 more double crochets all in this space. So it should look something like this. And then we're going to continue up our triangle just like we had done in all the previous rounds, making 3 double crochets in each chain space. Okay, now that we're back up to the top of our triangle, we're going to make 5 double crochets into this corner space. And then you're going to skip these double crochets, and then into where you made the single crochets, you're going to make 2 double crochets. So 2 double crochets in each single crochet. So you should have 2 and then 2. And then you're going to skip the double crochets, and then in that next space you're going to make 5 double crochets. Now you're going to just continue along this side of the triangle by working 3 double crochets into each space, just like in all previous rounds. Once you get to that final chain 4 space, then you're going to make 3 double crochets and then a chain 2 and then 4 double crochets all in that last space. So just like a mirror effect of the beginning of this row, just to square off this side a little bit more. So again, that's 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and then 4 double crochets all in this last space. And then once you're done with that, you can fasten off your yarn again, and then we have one last row kind of to finish it off before we add the straps. Okay, so now we're going to connect our yarn to the corner again, just like we had done in the previous rows. I'm going to connect at the top of this chain just like before. Now I'm going to make a single crochet in this same stitch. And then into each of the next 3 double crochet stitches. Then when you get to the space, you're going to make 3 single crochets all in that same space. And then you're going to make a single crochet in each stitch all the way up the triangle. So just keep going all the way until you get to the top. Now that I'm at the top, I'm just going to finish up these last few stitches making single crochet. Then when you get to where you have 5 double crochets in the third one, so the middle one, you're going to make 3 single crochets into this stitch. And then single crochet along the top until you get to the other side. So you're going to add 3 single crochets total into the third double crochet of that 5 double crochet cluster. So in that middle stitch, you're going to make 3 single crochets, just like that. And then down the rest of this other side, you're just going to make a single crochet into each stitch. And this gives a cute little border all around your top. Once you get back to the other corner, we're going to do the same thing, make 3 single crochets into that chain space, and then finish off this side by making a single crochet in each of these last double crochets. But when you're done, don't cut your yarn because we're going to go along the bottom next. So in that last stitch, we're going to make a total of 3 single crochets, just so we can turn and then work along the bottom of our top. We're going to single crochet along the bottom, so we're going to be working along kind of the raw side of the stitches of the double crochets. So I like to do 2 single crochets in the side of each double crochet. I'm working over my tails here. I would recommend that if you're able to, just because I hate weaving in my ends, and so I think this is a lot easier, and you can't really tell, but it's totally up to you. So here I am just working over my ends as I go, making 2 single crochets into the side of each double crochet, and then when you get to the other side, they're going to be the chains, the beginning starting chains. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to make 2 single crochets along each side of the double crochet all the way down. So now that I'm at the other end of my top, where I started, we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to make single crochet in that same stitch where we started, just so we can connect and join our yarn. So once you are connected back to that first stitch, we're going to start on the straps. So you're going to chain 4, and then you're going to do a double crochet 3 together, which is basically you're making 1 stitch out of 3 stitches. So you're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through 2 loops on your hook, and then do it again 2 more times until you have I think 4 loops on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 4 loops, and then from there you're going to chain as long as you want your strap to be. I chained 70, and then I slip stitch in each chain all the way back. That double crochet 3 together to join, and then you're going to repeat the same process on the other side for the other strap. Now for the neck straps, you're going to attach your yarn to that middle single crochet on each side, and then chain as long as you want your neck straps to be. I did 60 on each side, and then I did the same thing where I chained 60 and then slip stitched back in each chain all the way back to the start, and then slip stitch to join, and then repeat that for the other side, and then you're all done. From there you can weave in the rest of your ends, and then I'll show you how it looks on a little try on just in a second. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you subscribe so that you can see future tutorials, and make sure you like this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!